So you were obviously great at football and baseball. What did it kind of come down to for you? Was it I love baseball more than football? Was it my future is brighter in baseball than football?
Yeah, it was definitely the second one. I loved football a lot more than I did baseball at the time. It was more fun for me. I mean, I tell everyone who asks, throwing a touchdown in front of a homecoming crowd was cooler than hitting a home run at Hamilton High School. The juices were flowing more in football. It's a different environment. Miss it a lot, but I had a lot of fun with football. Just kind of sitting down, though, after the senior year and kind of looking at my options and what they were and what I thought was going to be best for me just ended up being baseball.
So obviously UCLA hasn't been great in football the last couple of years, but do you ever go to a football game and be like, man, I could be out there?
I go out there just rooting for them for the most part. I mean, I go to every football game. They didn't have the best year. We got a new head coach coming in, so I'm hoping that turns around. But do miss it a little bit. Sometimes wish that I was out there playing with those guys.
I was trying to figure out, because I remember when you were coming out of high school that people were talking about that you could be a high draft pick, and then you weren't, and I'm assuming it was because you made teams aware that you were going to school regardless. Is that kind of how it played out?
Yeah, my thing was on draft day, and even before, I just told teams that I wanted to go to college, and it's going to take a lot more than I was worth at the time to sign. I was basically asking for money that the first 10 picks get, and I wasn't a top 10 pick back then. I just knew that college was the route that I wanted to go, and I was going to price myself out. If any team wanted to cash a check for that much, then it might have looked a little different, but I was really set on going to UCLA, and I'm happy that I did.
What went into the decision that I need to go to college?
Just the development part. I mean, I was 18 years old. I didn't think that I was mature enough or grown up enough to, go play professional baseball right away, where I'm living on my own, doing my own thing really, with no structure, just going from living at home with my family and being a high school kid to being an adult at 18. I didn't think that I was ready for that. And then also the big thing that I wanted to do growing up was play in the College World Series and win one. And I couldn't do that if, I signed out of high school. So being able to just chase that goal was something that I wanted.
What do you think the difference is between the guy who was coming out of high school and the guy now?
I just think I've grown up a lot as a person outside of baseball, and I think that that's helped me with baseball. Living on my own the last 2-3 years and growing up with, other 18, 19-year-old boys has been, I think, beneficial for me in really every aspect. Just, learning myself and, what I need to do to survive. I think that just helps with the baseball part of it too.
How do you handle when people are talking about Roch Cholowsky is the consensus #1 pick in the upcoming draft?
I mean, it's cool to hear and cool to read about, but I don't really pay too much attention to it just because of the fact in high school I believed that I was better than a lot of the kids that I was playing with growing up, and I never got the attention or media until really my senior year. I walked out of high school as, I want to say, the 14th or 15th ranked shortstop in my class, and I didn't want to say that I agree with that. So, I mean, I don't really look into the rankings. I don't buy into them. I mean, I see them. They're really everywhere. They kind of throw them in your face. There's a lot of articles. But the validity of it, I don't really buy into. So, I mean, there's a lot to be done. There's still 7 months until, draft day. So, I'm just taking it day by day and really just worrying about what I got to do at UCLA.
So there was a chip on your shoulder growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that, I was better than a lot of the kids that I would play with and just never really got the attention that, I thought that I deserved at a younger age. I didn't really play on the national circuit until my junior year, which is also, sort of a thing. But, there's a lot that can change from now until July.
Last thing on that topic. Does it kind of sit on your shoulders at all? Do you feel the pressure of being that guy now?
It's fun for me. I mean, it's cool. I enjoy playing against teams and being the guy that they're game planning around or, the guy that they're trying to get at. It's fun for me. I think that's when I play my best is, when the stakes are higher and the juices are flowing.
So that's pretty interesting about the national circuit thing. Was part of that you were playing other sports and you weren't fully dedicated to baseball?
Yeah, a lot of it was because of football. Growing up, my parents had always just threw me in whatever sports that I wanted to do and told me to have fun and do it for as long as I can. So, I mean, it was, growing up, it was football from August till December, and then I'd play basketball for a couple months, and then it'd be baseball season from, March to May, and then it'd reset. So I didn't really have the time to go play club, travel baseball until really my senior year. when I could carve out a couple months during the summer. But even then, it was bouncing back and forth from baseball tournament in Georgia, coming back for summer football camp, just trying to balance both. But there was a lot of that played into it.
Did you still hoop at Hamilton?
I didn't. No, I played basketball growing up, and then got to Hamilton. The 3 seasons, all basketball would have football would have ran into basketball, and then basketball would have ran into baseball. So we just took out basketball. But I had a lot of fun with basketball growing up. I still play rec games and go play pickup. So it's fun.
Can still shoot it?
Not a shooter. No. Pass first guard and I can get to the hole. Not a shooter though.
What do you enjoy about playing shortstop?
A lot of movement. I mean, you're really involved. I feel like I'm involved in every play. Close to the pitcher, I get to talk to him. Really every play. I mean, if you watch one of our games or you even just hear about it, I'm saying 2-3 things before every pitch to the pitcher or the infield, just trying to get guys dialed. But you're really running the infield, running the outfield, vocally and just out there physically running around. So it's fun.
Do you enjoy that more or being at the plate?
Defense for sure. I have a lot of fun playing defense. There's times where I'll have a week or two in the off season where I'm rarely going to the cage and swinging. I'm just taking ground balls every day. I have a lot of fun taking ground balls.
Is there anyone that you look at that plays that position that you feel like that's kind of my style or the kind of guy that I want to be?
Yeah, I'd say Brandon Crawford. I mean, he's a guy that I grew up emulating, trying to be like. I watched a lot of his videos, watched a lot of Giants games. He was a UCLA guy too, which kind of helped that out. But I just like the way that he plays defense. I try and copy a lot of things that he does.
So were you a Giants fan and not a D-backs fan growing up, or what?
No, I'm more of a fan of players. Yeah. I root for the D-backs. I say that they're my team. Growing up, I always root for the D-backs just because I was going to the games. But I like players more so than I do teams.
So you say that you enjoy the defense more than being at the plate, but I know that you're a great hitter. What goes into that, do you think? What do you think makes you a great hitter?
I think the planning that I do before. Growing up, it was my dad always tells me that wiffle ball is the greatest game out there. It's how you swing and play as comfortable as you can be. Just really trying to copy how I swing and wiffle ball to baseball. Being as comfortable and loose as possible, let my body do what it wants to do, and then making adjustments along the way. But since I've gotten to college, the game planning aspect of it and really looking into pitchers has helped me a lot in growing as a hitter.
Is there anything that you are really keyed in on for yourself, and the team aspect of going to the College World Series, I'm sure, but yourself this last year, probably, I guess it'll be your last year at UCLA?
Just whatever I can do to help the team win. That was the biggest thing for me last year. I mean, there were games where I wouldn't have hits, but I'd make a play on defense or two and help them win in that aspect. Just whatever it is that day that I need to do to help the team win is what I'm trying to do.
Are you someone who writes down goals or thinks about goals that you have for yourself?
Yeah, I've been doing that since my senior year. Personal goals and then team goals as well. It's I like to visualize myself doing good things and writing them down and seeing those every day. I think really helps me.
Are there any goals that you have right now, personal or big picture, that you've had for a while that you're comfortable sharing?
Yeah, I mean, I usually stay within the year. My whole thing is I'll write out my goals for that specific season on a whiteboard and hang it up by my door in my bedroom so that when I'm waking up and walking out every day, I'm subconsciously seeing it or I'm looking at it every once in a while. A lot of statistical goals. On the left side, I put more of my own personal goals as of stats, hits, homers, doubles, stolen bases, no errors. And then on the right side, it's like awards, accolades. And then on the bottom in big bold letters, I have national champion because that's the main goal. I mean, I could hit 220 this year with no home runs and win a national championship, and I'd be very, very happy. That's just kind of what I've been chasing since I came to college. So that's the big one.
All right, bottom of the ninth, you guys are down by 2. There's 2 on. You're coming to the plate. What's that feel like for you?
I mean, that's the greatest feeling ever. I actually had that exact situation, I think in Maryland, like week 2 or 3 this past year. And I was just going up there with a smile on my face knowing that I could change the game, and then ended up hitting a 3-run homer, gave us the lead. And then went to the bottom of the 9th. They went and tied it, and then we went to extras and scored, I think, 5 in the top of the 10th. But, I I have a lot of fun in those moments. I mean, those are the moments that you try and put yourself in as a kid. You're playing wiffle ball, you're talking about what's going on in the game, and you're putting yourself in that bottom of the ninth situation. And it just being able to actually get put up in it's super fun.
So we started this by talking about you really loved football. The hours that you're putting into baseball and the focus that this is now, how do you describe what the love is for baseball?
It's grown over the last few years completely. I think that putting down the football and really getting to spend 12 months of the year working on myself for baseball has grown, the love of the game a lot. I loved it a lot growing up, just being able to travel with my dad on his work trips and, watching baseball growing up. And then being in college baseball is pretty cool too. I mean, it's a growing game. There's a lot of really good players in college, and being able to sit and watch games is also, just kind of grown that for me. So it's been a lot of fun to, spend 12 months of the year playing and watching baseball.
If I'm just going to read about Roch Cholowsky, and it's this great player at UCLA, won all these awards last year and is supposed to be this top pick, what am I missing? What do I not know about who that person is?
I would just say the competitor in me. I think that, I'm the most competitive person out there when it comes to showing up to the park and wanting to win every day. I don't think that someone has as much drive as me when it comes to that. I show up to the field every day with the mentality to do whatever I can to win that day or that practice. And I don't think that, it doesn't show up on the scorecard, and, people don't really talk about it as much just because of what I've done, the stats, where our team went last year, what I could possibly do these next few years. But I'm just a big-time competitor.
Do you know where that comes from, when that started?
I think it was just a family thing. I mean, our family's super competitive. Dad, sister, mom, everything we do in the house is very competitive. And then just, I think the football side of it too. Going from the football, lifestyle, and then playing baseball, it's a completely different game. I think that also helps with it.
Right on. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Roch.